Hey guys, welcome to 3 and Out. You can check out the podcast below in the description. And here's what I need you to do. Make sure you subscribe to the Volumes YouTube channel to stay up to date to everything we're doing here on 3 and Out and the Volume. Okay, let's dive into Tom Brady. And I don't think this is really that complicated. I don't think he ever wanted to retire. I think he was getting pressured from his wife to stop playing. And I think he capitulated for a minute. And then I think he realized, like, Giselle, I am still too good at football. There's a reason most people tell you when you're young to chase your dreams, follow your dreams, do something you love. Why? Because it makes life a lot easier. When you hate your job, life sucks. Why? You spend a lot of time working. I never understand these people that are in miserable marriages. It's like, guys, there's a thing called divorce. You can break up. If you're going to spend time with someone, either personally or professionally, you should enjoy it. Now, I've said over and over, I get to talk about sports for a living. I still have my beefs. I still get angry at things. We're all humans. But when you like what you do, it is much easier to do it. Why? Because you spend a lot of time working. When you're married to someone that you love and you feel deeply for, it's easier to spend a lot of time with that person. We've all known a lot of people in a lot of relationships. They're not feeling it, and they try to avoid each other at all costs. It's a miserable way to live. I never understand it. And sometimes professionally, when you're able to do what you love to do and are passionate about doing, then if you become really, really good at it, it's a double whammy, right? Because in certain businesses, when you follow what you like to do, that means you're going to like spending more time doing it. Then if you get really good at it in certain industries, you get compensated at a high level. Tom Brady is arguably the second best quarterback in the NFL. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers last year, he would have won the most valuable player award. You quit certain jobs because you hate them, right? That's usually the reason people quit jobs, or you have a better opportunity. In pro sports, the reason people usually quit is because in the NFL, you keep getting cut and you can't play anymore. Guys retire because they're shot. Look at some of Tom's contemporaries. Do you think any of them would have walked away if they were still playing like Tom is? Now, obviously, somehow Tom's doing this at 44 and 45 years old. It's pretty nuts. But however he's pulled this off, avocado ice cream, pliability, drinking water, stretching, Alex Guerrero, TB12, it's worked. And it's worked really well. The reason Peyton Manning quit football wasn't because he wanted to do some simulcast on ESPN. Wasn't because he just wanted to BS with his buddies and play golf. It's because he couldn't throw. You think Roethlisberger wanted to stop playing football for the Pittsburgh Steelers? No, he's cooked. The reason Drew Brees retired, he wasn't any good anymore. He couldn't throw the ball 10 yards down the field. It was over. Those guys are legends. Peyton Manning's one of the greatest Hall of Famers ever. Just went in. Drew Brees, first ballot Hall of Famer. Roethlisberger, 99% chance, first ballot Hall of Famer. These guys, Eli, not as good as those guys regular season-wise, while he's accomplished a lot in them. He had to quit. He was awful. It was over. No one wants to just retire when you can still play at a high level. Why? Because it's fun. You get to play football. It's enjoyable. And when you're still really good, you get paid a lot of money. You get to dominate. It's a public job. And it's sweet. Winning is fun. Do you notice how awesome every video ever? If you're listening to this, you never made it past high school football. How fun were locker rooms when you won? If you're listening to this, you played Division I college, Division II. The best part about a football week is celebrating after a win. We've all seen the videos in the NFL. It doesn't get any better. I was lucky enough just to work in the building and know how much stress and time goes in all week. So you get to the game. If you're really good and you're winning games, you don't want to stop that. I always love, when is Andy Reid going to quit? When is Bill Belichick going to quit? These guys are addicted to football, and they're so good at their job. What else would they do? Listen, I say this all the time. The word retirement gives me anxiety. Someone DM'd me today about their investing philosophy. They're like, John, don't play the growth stocks. Only do that with 10% of your money. ETFs. Bro, I'm in ETFs. I'm not investing for fucking retirement. Now, again, I'm lucky enough to do something. I don't plan on retiring. I play golf twice a week right now.
What am I going to do? Play more golf? I just want to do what I like to do and just do it until I'm not able to do it anymore. I've never related to people that like live for the weekend. I enjoy Tuesday. I like working. I like Saturday too. But Tom Brady is not like, football is a huge part of his life. He enjoys building his life around football. You can be a good dad and play football. You can be around your family and play football. You also don't get that many opportunities to be a lead at your job when there's legitimately a finite end to it. If you watch the Carl Icahn documentary, he's still investing. He'll do it till the day he dies. Warren Buffett, he's going to invest till the day he dies. They enjoy doing that. Certain jobs get easier as you get older. Well, a lot of these jobs, your real estate, investing, whatever, you can do forever. As a player, like eventually this is going to run out on Tom. And he'll be Roethlisberger or Peyton. Like if he just played till he couldn't play anymore. It might happen at 48 or 50, but it will happen. But it's not happening now. We just watched him play at such a high level, and it was awesome to watch. And clearly, I think his family, but I don't think his kids, if I was his 12-year-old kid, I'd want him to keep playing. I want my dad to I want to go to NFL games. It's his wife. She wants him to stop. And he gave in, and then he realized, like, no, what are we doing? The game's never been safer. They literally can't touch me. And when they could, they changed the rules so they couldn't hit my leg anymore. And I'm throwing 35 to 40 to 45 touchdowns with my eyes closed right now. I got Mike Evans. We just franchised Godwin. Like, what's going to change? We can keep dominating. Look at my division. The one guy that could beat me in the division retired. Now I got to go against Dennis Allen. Like, I watched Dennis Allen with the Raiders. Tom's going to be okay. Matt Rule's got no clue what he's doing. And the Atlanta Falcons just don't have a good roster. So it's never been easier to make the playoffs, right? I mean, his division stinks. They're a lock. They just hosted 2 playoff games last year. So I just think Tom never wanted to do this in the first place, was pressured by his wife, and a couple months later, he's clearly talks his way out of it. And however he pulled that off, and again, he doesn't have to do OTAs or whatever. It's just a season. And as long as you're still playing this well, like Elway didn't quit because Elway was on top. His game was trending in the wrong direction. Marino was shot. Like it was over. Aikman, over. Steve Young, KO'd. Most people in the peak of their powers don't pull a Jim Brown and Barry Sanders. Like not all retirements are equal. This retirement was weird because of how good he still was. And I'm glad he's back. Because I think the league really benefits. Again, he's their biggest star. He's one of the most famous people in this country. I don't know how famous he is worldwide, like some of these NBA stars or Tiger Woods or some of these racing guys. But Tom Brady domestically, it doesn't get any bigger. He's literally at the peak of his powers, right? He's never been more famous, and he's probably been better as a player, but he's still damn good. It just makes sense. I want to consume you. He wants to keep playing football. We're all going to watch. The NFL really benefited today. I think everyone, standing ovation, welcome back. Now, I think if you're in the NFL or you're a fan of some of the teams that don't like Tom, maybe you're tired of him. But I'm not. I'm glad he's returned. Because you just, unless you're John Rahm, you're just not going to be playing golf every day. Try it. And he's not any good. So it's like you work out. What am I working out for? I want to get ready for games. Because the games are the easy part. He knows that's where he can dominate. He just did. And I think Tampa got really lucky today. And it's a good example. Things are out of your control. Like Tampa was screwed. What were they going to do? What were their options? They have a pick in the mid-20s. So it's like, who are they trading for? They wouldn't have got Deshaun Watson. There are too many teams that would have had better offers. And I know he has a no-trade clause, but like if I was the Texans, I'm not trading to the Tampa. I would have said, no, we're not doing that. Like ultimately, Texans can say no to. Where are they going to get a quarterback? Now, I don't think Bruce Arians necessarily meant it. I think he was just trying to keep the spirits high. Kind of like once upon a time when Dick Vermeil said, Kurt Warner's our starting quarterback and we will win football games with Kurt Warner. Now, ultimately, Kurt Warner became a Hall of Famer. But when Dick Vermeil said that, I don't think he actually believed that they were going to keep winning football games. Like ultimately, Bruce Arians saying that Blaine Gabbert's going to be our starting quarterback is part of being a leader is you got to be positive, right? You can't always be negative. Hell, if you're a dad listening to this, you got a couple kids, you can't walk into the house every single day being negative. Your negative energy will permeate throughout the house, and then everyone will be negative. You kind of got to fake it sometimes. You have a bad day at work, come home, smile. You're the CEO of a company and things aren't going well, you still got to put on a good face. So I think Bruce was trying to be positive. They know, like Blaine Gabbert's their quarterback. They're not going to the playoffs. They would have been screwed. I don't care how good their coaching staff is fantastic. I don't care how many of these free agents they would have brought back. But Tom Brady, I'm sure if you're listening to this by the time you've seen this stat or someone's forwarded to you on a text message, they went from being a middle-of-the-road team in the NFC to now being the NFC favorites. That includes the Rams. That includes the Packers. Now, I think they differ from the Rams a little bit because the Rams, we'll see who Seattle's quarterback ends up being. But the Niners are good, and Arizona, while flawed, are good. Like, that division is tough. What Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers have to deal with, their divisions are a joke. Now, depends on some of these new coaches, Kevin O'Connell, Dennis Allen, but the other 6 teams in those divisions, the Bears, the Lions, who am I missing? Minnesota actually might not be bad, but they have a brand new coach. The Saints with Dennis Allen. The Panthers stink. I mean, the Panthers are drafting 6 overall, and the Falcons, while they went 7-10, they're probably the weirdest 7-10 team I've ever seen because I've seen them multiple times last season get absolutely destroyed. They don't have that much talent. So both those two teams, you're going to cruise to the playoffs. The NFL is not a cruise to the playoffs sport, right? You'd go, okay, the AFC North. Is Joe Burrow just going to cruise back to the playoffs? Is Lamar just going to cruise back to the playoffs? The Browns now get Amari. Are they just going to cruise? The Steelers, who their quarterback is going to, it's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be hard for the Niners just to win 10, 11 games again. It's just going to be difficult. Where you go Tampa and Green Bay, I feel like I'd put $5,000 right now. Both those two teams are in the playoffs. I'd feel fantastic about my wager. And you can't say that most of the time. I can't say for certain the Patriots are back to the playoffs. They should be a playoff team. But I wouldn't do the same wager. I wouldn't even blink with those two teams. So there's a reason that Rodgers ultimately went back to the Packers. One, he's the starting quarterback of the Packers, making $50 million. They're one of the biggest brands in America. Two, it's easy to keep kicking at everyone's ass. Part of the reason Tom's coming back is, one, he can still play well, and his team, the path. Sean Payton is who knows where. He might be in Cancun right now. He's going to be calling games next year, not coaching games. He gets to play Dennis Allen. And I know Dennis Allen gave him fits as defensive coordinator. Well, now he's the head coach. And I'm telling you, the big winner, NFL Fox, should be throwing a celebration today. Bruce Arians and Jason Light, man, this had to be the best call. Now, maybe they've gotten word of this the last week or two, but this had to feel really good. And I think the teams that don't feel great today is like the Rams and the Packers. And I'd throw the Niners in there, but we'll got to see how good Trey Lance is. But now the NFC is still very, very top-heavy. Tampa, Green Bay, the Rams, Niners, Arizona. We'll see what Philly does with their picks. And as long as Jalen Hurts your quarterback, I don't care how good your roster is. I know Kelsey announced over a beer on social media. It was a great post, drinking out of a keg, that he's returning. But, is Jalen Hurts your quarterback? You're not winning a playoff game. Jalen Hurts is not winning a playoff. You could get back. The Cowboys have issues. That division has issues. Carson Wentz with Washington. I don't see any of those teams winning a playoff game. Now, if the Eagles got a real quarterback, then you tell me they got Deshaun Watson? Now I'll change my tune. But yeah, Tom just, he's too good. He's too good. Why would he walk away? Thanks for watching 3 and Out. You can check out the podcast below in the description, and make sure you subscribe right now to the Volumes YouTube channel.